Douglas and Sarpy County just hit their highest housing inventory in a decade. But what does that really mean for you? Now, in today's update, I'll break down why buyers suddenly have more negotiating power, what sellers must do differently in order to get offers, and how home prices are shifting compared to last year. And finally, the unexpected factor that could flip this market faster than anyone expects. Now, before we look at this month's numbers, my name is David Matney, and I am a lifelong Omaha local and top producing realtor. I have been helping families buy and sell homes in the Omaha market for over 20 years with hundreds of successful transactions. And with that, let's dive into today's content. For anyone new to the area, in this video, we're looking at Douglas and Sarpy County, Nebraska. Douglas County is the home to the city of Omaha, the towns of Ralston, Bennington, Waterloo, and Valley, Nebraska. Sarpy County is located just south of Douglas County and is home to the cities of Bellevue, La Vista, Papillion, Gretna, and Springfield, Nebraska. Real estate is like any other market. Home prices depend on supply and demand. If supply increases and demand decreases, prices will fall. And on the flip side, if supply decreases and demand increases, prices will increase. Let's take a look at the current supply. Now, in Douglas and Sarpy County, we have a total of 2,353 homes on the active market. Now, inventory is up 17.5% compared to August of 2024. More inventory is good if you're looking to purchase a home. It means you have more homes to choose from. It also means you have the ability to do your due diligence. For example, if you're purchasing a home in the Omaha area, in our contract, you have 14 days to conduct any and all inspections. That can mean anywhere from a whole house inspection, along with any other inspection that you deem necessary. For example, did you know that eastern Nebraska has some of the highest radon levels in the country? Now, what is radon? Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas that forms when uranium in the soil, rock, and groundwater breaks down. It is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. And it's a health risk because it's the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States, just behind smoking. You can test for radon. The test will cost you around $150. And if the radon level is high, you can ask the seller to install a radon mitigation system. In the current market, as a buyer, as inventory increases, it also means you have no more negotiation power. You can ask the seller for concessions or maybe a little bit off that purchase price. As a buyer, it also allows you a little bit more time. You might be able to go back and take a second look at the home before making an offer. Speaking of making an offer, if you're in the market to buy a home, feel free to contact me via call, text, or email. My contact information is on the screen, or you can scan the QR code and we can schedule a 20-minute Zoom call and discuss your situation. If you are a seller, as inventory increases, in order to sell your home, it means you have to go back to school and do all of those things sellers need to do in order to increase their chances of getting an offer. It means you have to price your home correctly. It means you have to do a serious deep cleaning before putting your home on the market. It might mean placing items in storage before putting your home on the market. And let's take a moment and talk about repairs. In this market, buyers are going to ask for repairs. Be proactive. If you know something needs repairing, take care of it up front before putting your home on the market. And this kind of goes right along in the same lines, and that is we're in mid-September. If you're looking to put your home on the market, if you see chipped or peeling paint, take care of it now before the cold weather hits. And if you're a seller, you need to come to terms with buyers are going to ask for concessions. You might have to reduce the price, or they might ask for repairs when they do that inspection. And sellers need to understand that the pandemic market is over. That ship has sailed. In other words, we are in a normal market. And if you're thinking about selling your home or just curious about what your home is worth, I have a free tool called Homebot. It's free, there's no obligation, and you can sign up by simply using the link in the description, or you can scan the QR code on the screen. What's neat about Homebot, it'll give you a monthly update of the current value of your home. Let's go back and look at inventory over the past 10 years. In August of 2025, we currently have 2,353 homes on the active market. Looking back, going back 10 years, we haven't had this many homes on the active market since August of 2015, when we had 2,557 homes on the active market. When you look at this chart, you also see seasonality and how it affects the inventory. Typically, inventory tends to peak in September and October. It decreases in the fall, bottoms out in the wintertime, and then ramps back up in the spring. This happens every year. Now let's shift gears and take a moment and talk about new construction. If you're considering new construction, fall is an excellent time to shop for new construction. You can contract on your home in the fall, and in many cases, you can move into your home 9 months later when the home is complete. In some cases, you might be able to take advantage of some of the current incentives that many buyers are offering in order to clear their current inventory. With inventory increasing, how is this affecting home prices? Home prices are starting to level off. The median closed sales price for the month of August in Douglas and Sarpy County was $330,000, which is up 1.5% compared to August of 2024. Prices are not shooting up like we saw during the pandemic years. That means if you're buying a home, you got to have a long-term outlook. If you purchase a home and if you turn around and have to sell it a year or two later, you're going to lose money. Plan on holding your home for at least 5 years so you can recover your cost to purchase. Now, in this chart, we're going to look at the median closed sales price in Douglas and Sarpy County over a 12-month rolling average. And what you're going to start to see is, as we went into 2024 and 2025, home prices were still increasing slightly, but at a much slower pace. And that's what you would expect in the current environment. What about the number of home sales? Now, sales are down. The number of closed sales for the month of August is down 9.2%. Last month, we closed 945 homes in Douglas and Sarpy County. If we look at the number of sales over the past 22 years, this is the worst August for the number of sales since August of 2011. And that was during the Great Recession, in which we sold, at the time, 833 homes for the month of August. However, just because the number of sales are down, just like during the Great Recession, homes are still being sold, because whenever someone gets married, divorced, has a baby, or passes away, it creates a real estate transaction. What about some good news? If you're a buyer, mortgage interest rates have gone down. Rates are at their lowest level in 2025. The lower the rate, the more buying power a buyer has. When it costs less to borrow, it means a lower monthly payment for a buyer. Currently, the 30-year fixed rate mortgage is at 6.29%. What are interest rates going to do in the future? Nobody knows. Mortgage interest rates are closely tied to the bond market, especially the 10-year Treasury yield. In times of economic uncertainty, investors move money into bonds, which increases demand. Higher demand pushes bond prices up and, in turn, drives yields down. Are we moving into economic uncertainty? Let's look at the job numbers. The number of unemployed is increasing. The unemployment rate for the United States is currently at 4.6%, which is up from 4.5% in July of 2024. The job market has a huge impact on the real estate market. When jobs are lost, it has a negative impact on the real estate market. Someone who is out of a job is not buying a home. On a local level, in Douglas County, the unemployment rate was at 3.5%, which is the same as it was last year. In Sarpy County, the unemployment rate actually improved. In July of 2024, we were looking at a 2.9% unemployment rate. This year, it was at 2.8%. I want to point out Potawatomi County in Iowa. Normally on my update, I just talk Douglas and Sarpy County. What I think is odd is the jump in the unemployment numbers just across the river. I'm not sure if this is an anomaly or something is happening. I just want to keep my eye on this. Another indicator as to the health of the real estate market is the price of lumber. When demand for lumber increases, it usually indicates builders are starting to build more homes. If lumber goes down in price, it might be an indication of trouble around the corner for the housing market. Lumber started going down in price in August, and this indicated cooling demand. Then, when rates dropped around the 1st of September, we saw the price of lumber increase. Lumber is currently around $586 for 1,000 board feet. What can we look forward to as we move into fall? And now, if rates go down, count on sales activity to increase. The number of sales are down, but there are buyers out there still wanting to buy, but they're just being sidelined. I think we have current homeowners who are being sidelined from the golden handcuffs. These sellers would like to sell and then buy, but they don't want to give up a 3% mortgage interest rate for a 6% mortgage interest rate. Now, if rates go down, then you can bet some of these sellers will decide to come off the sideline, and time will tell. Do you agree? What do you think will happen in the Omaha real estate market in the next 6 months? Do you think prices will go up? Do you think rates will come down? What are your thoughts? Please leave them in the comment section below. And if you want to learn more about the real estate market, be sure to watch this next video.